In this video, we're going to take a look at how to set up and run our full reference glue joint cutter. It's used for projects where you want to have a little bit more reinforcement in an edge-to-edge glue joint, such as stave core door styles or large butcher blocks. The big benefit is these small finger joints help to reference the faces flush to each other and prevent slippage during glue up. The short fingers on this tool are 2.5 millimeters in depth and are at a 5 millimeter pitch. There is no straight shoulder, so an angled glue line will appear at the face of the material. Once the tool is mounted and clamped on the spindle, set the bottom of the knife flush to the table and then wind the spindle down at least 4.5 millimeters or about 3/16 of an inch below the table. It can be more if your material thickness allows this. Lock the spindle height and adjust the infeed fence to take at least a 1 millimeter depth of cut. Today we're working with stock that's just under 22 millimeters or 7/8 of an inch thick. You can now run the first pass. For the second pass, the tool needs to be moved up 2.5 millimeters. There are two alternatives for adjusting the cutter height. The first is, if you're using a manually adjusted shaper, ensure the spindle height is locked at the setting of the first pass. Remove the tool from the spindle, leaving in place any spacers that were below the tool. Then place the 2.5 millimeter precision spacer that was supplied with the tool onto the spindle and remount the tool back on top. The tool will now be 2.5 millimeters higher for the second pass. The other alternative is, if your shaper has precision height adjustment with digital readout, simply adjust the spindle 2.5 millimeters higher. If you don't want an angle glue joint at the face of the material, consider using either of the other two glue joint cutters that are available that will give a vertical glue joint at the face of the workpiece.